11th of March, 2024, to order. We have a roll call, please.
Amber Ertz.
Here.
Kathy Missy.
Here.
Maureen Knott.
Here.
Shelley Flanagan. And Marlene Currency.
Marlon's absent. So. Okay. This time I invite you to join me in prayer. God, we just give thanks that we live in this free country. We thank you that you provide for us every day. Lord, we ask that this mayor and council be given the knowledge and wisdom to deal with the items on the agenda before us. We ask for safety for our city employees, our contractors, as they go about their work. God, for those in this community that are fighting illness and sickness, we pray your healing hand upon them. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Guide us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On the agenda, we have some changes. Number one, Jessica has asked to be moved up from number 11 to right after 6, which is number 7. Number 7, the address should be 105 South High Street, not North. The 28E agreement will be between Chester Township and Jefferson Township. And I believe that's all the changes. Anybody else? Okay, so I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I will make a motion to approve the agenda with the corrections that you just stated. I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The agenda is approved. Minutes of February 12th, 2024 regular meeting. Before you approve those minutes, I want you to think about what's on there so that you don't have a snafu like last month. So make sure you know what's on there before you approve it. That's it. I will entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from February 12th, 2024.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Minutes are approved. Police activity report.
The activity for the month of February as follows: 46 business checks, 62 patrol sessions, 3 bar checks, 3 park checks, 1 at a council meeting, 6 school traffic patrols, 4 school checks, 3 case follow-ups. We had 8 calls for service in there as follows: 1 animal complaint, attempt to speak to the owner. With their owner, follow-up will be at a later time. 1 misuse of services, subject was advised to stop. DHS report under investigation, 2 suspicious activities. Subject was gone on arrival and subject returned home, trespass warning given. Second given. 1 theft, call for service, subject returned and paid. 2 trespass, arrest made on both. That accounts for your February activity. Questions?
Okay, thank you. Any questions from council and or citizens? Okay, thanks. Library.
We would like to be on the agenda for next month for if we need a budget amendment for the recent donations, and we're getting a grant from the Community Foundation too, so might need a budget amendment for that. Our spring brunch is Saturday, March 23rd at 9 a.m. We're having pastries and biscuits and gravy. Flower arranging is coming up on April 27th at 2 p.m. If you still like to sign up as a Master Gardener to come and do that. And Pilgrim Heights has started providing some after-school programs for children, and their first one is Wednesday morning.
Wednesday one.
March 20th. It should be an early out, so that's probably geared more towards younger, but.
Any questions from council? Thank you. Fire department.
I'm just gonna wait his report since he's not here. Fire department had 9 calls for service between last meeting and tonight. That does include tonight's fire, so sorry about the parking situation. Couple reminders with this warm, dry, windy, delightful weather. If you're gonna burn anything, do so safely, keep it contained, keep a water source nearby. If you think it's gonna get out of control, call us sooner than later. No burning garbage in the city limits. If you are gonna burn something, it has to be natural vegetation grown on your own property. Sounds like for most everybody, we're giving a warning for the first time anything beyond that, you will get a citation. That is city code. And then our hog roast is April 27th. So keep reminding April is here.
EMS?
EMS had 10 calls for service in the last month. Been nice and busy. We heard back from the city of Tama about that life pack 12 lead, and they did award us the bid for it. They were agreeable to paying the $5,000 with this budget and then paying the rest with our next budget cycle. So the director over in Tama really went to bat for us. And another business sounds like maybe possibly bid more, but they liked what we were doing and said that they can afford their own. So we'll be picking that up shortly and start training on it, and that'll be a good thing. And then you'll notice I also submitted the 2024 officers. We just had our elections in March, so that is correct. And then our, as of now, 2024 department roster with who's on, what's that? No.
Thank you. Okay, regular business, discuss some possible approval of the Northwood bill for Park Road. I'll have one to
Thank you. The Northway bill, part of the hesitation of all this has been the fact that we got a quote from them, and the bill came in considerably higher. And we didn't understand why. I didn't have them explain it to me. We went through the whole scenario with them. What it amounted to was part of the quote that they had given us, they didn't utilize, so they took that off the bill, but then turned around and the other side of the equipment, or the other side of it was, in the original quote, it said no additional labor or materials would be supplied without authorization from city personnel. And we did, at the end of the project, say, let's just get it taken care of, we're moving on now, let's go. And that was how they racked up the bill that they did, because there was gravel that had to go down into it, there was bentonite that I think went into it. See if I can find that again and make sure. And then the additional labor that went with that. That being said, that's how we came up with the amount that we have of the $15,000. We had one other company that had given us a quote in the very beginning back in 2022. They were considerably higher than these guys were to begin with. And when I went back to them and asked them, the two quotes were very similar in, it was like apples to apples in what they would do and what they wouldn't do. And so I asked them if they had to do this or do this or do this, what would it cost? And theirs was literally basically triple the amount also. So their 8,100 went to well over 20,000. So we're still ahead of the ball game. We just think it's all possible things. They did the work. They gave us a bid in 2022 and didn't actually get the work done because of one step or another on their side or our side. It wasn't entirely their fault. So when they did get it done 2 years later, the prices had gone up some as well. Yeah, they were doing their work, so. Any questions from any of you about that?
Okay, good. I will entertain a motion to pay this bill.
I will motion to pay the Northway Corporation, this the total here, $15,180.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor, right?
Yeah.
Favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Okay, and then, Rhonda, your report.
My report. One of the things that I was asked right before the meeting tonight, and I will read, there are some different faces on here. When you look at my report, it says it's for February, which is, it's reporting to you about last month, not this month. So that's why it tells you it's the February report. And then in addition to that, where I tell you what your water usage and your wastewater flows were, it's always for the month prior to the month that you are seeing the report for. So that's why it's for January. And it's typically because the reports that they're looking at, like the February stuff, we haven't received word yet from the DNR that it's all been approved. And I don't give you those numbers until after the DNR has sent us the notice that we're clear to go. So that's why you see the stuff in January. We're always running behind like that. And I just want you guys to, if there's ever a question about it, ask me. I was hoping that even by the end of the year, we'd be able to throw December in there along with November, but it doesn't work that way. The DNR doesn't work on the same time schedule we do. So, the Northway bill is taken care of right now. Water testing's in compliance, we're on schedule with that stuff. So for the water side, everything is pretty quiet right now. There is a program coming up that we're gonna have to work on somehow this year. It's to be reported back to the DNR and EPA by October of 2024. And it's called the Lead Service Line Program. They have now gone through lead and copper and beat that horse to death, shall I say. So how to make it a little more interesting, I guess, for them is now they want us to find out what people have for service lines in their homes. Whoa.
Sorry.
That's okay, that's not bad music. So, there's some other things that we need to work on to make sure that things are going well in town. We'll be sending out a survey over the next couple of months asking residents to tell us if they know, where are your service lines? Do you know what the material is that they're made of? Are they plastic? Are they copper? Are they metal pipe? That's the information we have to start with to report these back to the EPA, because it literally will go as far as the EPA. And they want to know it for every structure in town. Yeah.
This is for just going to the building?
Yes.
What is it?
The service line that goes to the building, which is, if you stand at the water meter in your basement and you watch where it comes through the wall or comes through the floor, you ought to be able to see what's there. Is it a metal pipe? Is it a copper pipe? Is it a plastic pipe? And check that off, and hopefully that's all we'll need. The purpose of this is that back in the 1980s, using lead service lines, lead line, was outlawed by the feds. And so now this is finally starting to catch up with everybody, and they're saying, we need to see how much activity there is on these lead service lines, and are we impacting people's lives in order to do so? Not a bad purpose, I don't think, except what do we do when we find out there's lead service lines? We, as a community, have to decide, do we make the mandate also that they have to change them? Do we see if we have enough finances to help them change them? Or do we close our eyes to the EPA and say, we got this, and let it go? That's probably been the biggest topic of conversation in meetings and communications that we've had with the DNR and EPA is what's the next step? What's going to happen if we don't do anything about it? Nobody knows. Are we gonna get a gold star if we do come all the way through and get everything changed out? Nobody knows. They're just trying to take that next step. But we will be, like I said, starting the process of sending out the surveys, and everybody who gets a water bill will get one. And then we need to make sure that we can get all of those back, which is in itself a major accomplishment. And then be able to put that information in the spreadsheet that we get from the DNR and return it to them, and then all this will be done by the end of October of this year. And I'm doing it 22 times over. It's so much fun.
Is that it?
That's it.
You done?
Well, no, actually wastewater side, I need Steve's help for this. We're looking pretty good right now as far as having televising done, cleaning and televising?
Yeah, they're out on the final stretch, they're out in Bushland Field.
Okay. So as soon as that gets done, we get the report back from them, we pass it on to Luke, and they get to do their magic with it. If this is done by the end of April, and the information is to those guys, hopefully by no later than the end of June, we should be able to have something to bring back to council. You know what timeline you're on there. And give you guys some suggestions as to what do we do next out there, or how fast do we need to move? How fast do we need to move? My first push is always going to be, let's make the collection system as tight as we can, so that the extra flows that go out there don't have a major impact on our treatment process. It also, if the flows going out there are lower, we don't have to spend as much money for the treatment process, and that's the huge difference. Anything else with that, Steve?
No, everything is in pretty good shape. We have one minor collapse that we're gonna have to fix, but the rest of the town will be good.
Okay, good. And so, yeah, the information that they have off to Luke will, hopefully they'll bring something back to us with that. And we do see a spike when it rains anymore, I'm just wishing it rained. We didn't choose to live in Iowa, we live in the desert, we're pretty close. So, now, I think I'm done.
No, you don't.
Okay,
Now, I have a question. Has our inflow come down the last couple of weeks?
which one?
The inflow into town? The water.
Oh, okay.
Has it come
The
down?
water usage? Yes, it's coming down. It's still doing its jump, which is very typical, but the numbers are lower.
In the 30s now?
Yes. I think it hit 41 a day last week,
Well, last 2 days.
Yeah. But there again, we've got those guys still working in town. And I also noticed that our inflow or our water usage from rural water was up too. So, I don't remember what it was today. You?
Mid to high 40s.
Yeah.
They're in town first thing this morning. This morning. That would have been for yesterday, if you talking about it, just in the high 40s.
Yes.
She's in for fire.
We haven't had any within town for a while.
Okay.
Yesterday was 41. The day before that was 31. Then we had a 43, a 39, a 29, a 37, a 35. So it's down there. And there again, it was a beautiful day outside.
So our average is down.
Yes, yes.
All right, moving on.
Then you feel like so many protests, right?
No.
Are you done?
I am done.
Okay, number 3, discussing possible approval of water and sewer capping at 187 North Maple Street. I verified with Bill Gallen this morning that was done. Rhonda was not present, she needed to be. It was not done for the book. If there's been anybody else, I haven't dug up and verified, but I know who done the work, so I mean, that's good enough unless anybody else is also. I guess what to say about
The only thing I would ask for future is knowing that's in your code, and just trying to make sure that the contractor knows going into it, that when they get ready to be done, either Steve or myself or a member of city council is standing there that knows what's going on, so we can sign up on it, and they don't get in trouble.
Weren't you there, Steve, when it happened? No, but I
I
was.
was-
Well, it has to be the certified operator or somebody that she designates or he designates, in this case she.
But yeah, it was.
In the future.
Yep.
Let's do.
Yeah, we did not know that, so.
Okay,
Sorry.
number 4, discussing possible approval of CGA project update on High Street.
Yeah, in a couple months, so I've talked with the Nats since last year. They are looking to start sometime in June, probably early June. And then I did talk with Aaron and Mayor about would they potentially take all payment in the next fiscal year, and they were okay with that. So, even if they were to start late May, early June, they're okay with holding that over into the next fiscal year. So, I think once they're in town, it'll, within a few weeks, they should be in and out of here. So that should be pretty quick. So yeah, by July, this should be pretty well wrapped up with all those figures from there.
So we need to make sure that you've got some of the sewer stuff in your hands, so that if they're doing resurfacing in certain areas, we are putting something over, we're gonna dig up within 6 months.
There's 2 manhole covers that need to be.
Yeah, and those are getting brought to the surface.
But if we've got any breaks in the lines or collapses underneath, we wanna make sure.
Yeah, that would be great to check those first. There are a couple of patches, but that stretch specifically would be good to check.
Okay.
And that might be a case where we reach out to get the televising just first.
Got it.
So they'd be in touch on that.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Number 5, discussing possible approval of Center Street project. It is my understanding that this was started maybe last year. Talked to Marty Weinmore about this. We do not have the funds to do this even in the next couple of years. We're looking at maybe fiscal 27. Marty's okay with that. He just wants it that approved by council. There's no way that, with what we got going on with that building, High Street project, is just, we don't have the money. Not even close to having the money to cover that project. So we need to kick it down the road a couple of years.
And just as a reminder, that was a 80% fund of construction and a 20% match, and then all of engineering and surveying be paid by the city. So there was a fairly significant match there. You'll want to make sure those funds are in hand to be able to get a funding agreement. So yeah, we chatted, and I think kicking it down the road that couple of years, yeah, versus trying to push it into a bid letting this winter.
Okay, so I will entertain a motion in that, to postpone that project at least 2 years.
Motion to postpone the Center Street project for at least 2 years.
I'll second
All those in favor say aye.
it.
All opposed, nay. Passed. All right. Number 6, discuss and possible approval of Chester Township 28E agreement and also Jefferson Township.
I think you guys all have copies of this, or maybe, I guess that's.
Actually, they don't, sorry.
Okay, nope.
I have one copy, because I don't look at it.
So it's
Just
nothing
about a lawyer
super,
talk.
yeah, it's nothing super duper exciting. It's something that we're required to have with our surrounding departments. It's just our mutual aid agreement, so it outlines, where we're gonna respond, who we respond to, what areas we service. So we'll have all the townships, the city of Laurel, and, I don't know. This is Jacob's baby. It has been a long time since we've done the 2080 agreements, to the point that we didn't know where most of the copies were, and some of the amounts have changed. So that's just the standard thing. If you could approve that, that'd be great. I have a call. And then, sorry, skip ahead. No Rivers Day stuff. If we need to postpone that till next week, you have the map with the pre-rep. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
need separate motions for the separate community amendments.
Yes, yes. So I will entertain a motion for the approval of Chester Township 28E agreement.
I motion to approve the 28E agreement for Chester Township.
Second.
I'll second.
Kathy, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, discuss and possible approve Jefferson Township 28E agreement. I will entertain a motion.
I will make a motion
Doug?
to do, what,
Go ahead. That's what you said, sir.
to do the Jefferson Township 28E agreement.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Passed. All right, moving on to, this will be number 7 now. Land use permit for 105 South High Street. Basically taking out sidewalk.
Yes.
You got the form in front of you there.
Yep.
Anybody have any questions?
You have me tell you why I was doing this. The exhaust gets scratched. It has done a lot of damage to our exhaust, but also my driveway sits 3 to 4 inches above my garage door. So I need to bring the driveway down, which means the sidewalk's still gonna be up here and my driveway's gonna be down here.
You not just the whole church.
And it's broken up in places, yeah, it is.
Any questions on that discussion? Entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion for 105 South High Street to remove those bridge.
Got a second? All those in favor say aye. All opposed, nay.
Yeah.
Discussing possible approval of land use permit for 218 North Main Street. You should have that in your packet. That individual is extending his driveway out to within about 4 feet of the, that's 3 4 feet, yeah. Just a standard 2-car garage driveway.
I'll make a motion to approve the expanding of their driveway.
Do I have a second? In favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Discuss and possible approval of park improvements.
Okay, as some of you have in front of you, like the trees, what kind of trees and where they would be put at, possibly. Jason, well, if I can say it right, Connie Haynes' son, he worked at Earl May for years doing landscaping. And he came this last week to meet with us and tell us what kind of trees would be best for the park and what, what like the windbreaker and shade for the community. So he helped us with that this week, and he's more than willing to help. If we can get this going, he will come and help get things lined up to where they're supposed to be, or where 10 feet apart. But I'm bringing that forward to you guys so you can kind of see what the outlook would look like, and then we're looking for donations for trees, which people are already donating. They just need to know that it's okay, and then, yeah. So if you guys want to look through, I think the trees are just absolutely gorgeous. And it'd be nice to have shade for the park. And there's a bag that will, means they're small trees, there'll be a bag around them, but between people volunteering, we'll make sure that the trees are watered and stuff, so, yeah, so.
So who's going to make sure that they get watered?
The community, people, me, you. Yeah,
That probably would be
yeah. It'll
figured out once we get to that,
Yeah.
like after.
Okay, I do have one question.
What's
Okay, so what trees are you planning on putting along the railroad tracks.
Okay, it's in your folder there. I don't have one in
North
front of me.
pole, are straight ones.
Okay, I just wanna make sure they weren't gonna get too bushy.
No,
And then
no,
the
they're,
railroad-
You know, like markers.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Just stay up
Yeah,
and,
yeah, base for the ornament.
okay.
But you guys also need to be very aware that the railroad can come and spray and they don't give a hoot what is there.
Yeah.
Obviously, Barker's trees that he has, that's exactly what they did to his.
yeah,
Because they have a 50-foot right of way
yeah.
on both sides. So I don't know if it would be worth even buying trees to put there.
They even told us about the trees that are back there, and that railroad decides they want to, they can come cut them.
Yeah. Well, if we keep them kind of close enough more to,
I'd
The
say
park
drive
side?
in more.
yeah, because then that can be decided later, because being to now you said 50 feet, we can talk to Jason and say 50 feet away from the railroad tracks. Because then we know that that's, but, you know, like Jason and I were saying, that, because those grain beds and everything are coming down, it's gonna be horrible if it's a windy day, it's not gonna be a windbreaker. We're thinking of a windbreaker,
It's
so
just
we,
something I'll remember, they told us that they probably won't cut them, but
it's,
if
yeah,
they can,
Yeah.
if it's right.
And then number 3, you gotta be very careful because there's where a lot of the trees were.
yeah, that's why,
That's already been.
yeah, we picked the area where it would be 10 feet away from, so it's not gonna cause any damage to that tree. It's spaced out right a ways away from all the others.
It's a regular.
Yeah, that's where it's
You
on
need a
that
sign-up
area.
sheet, Lorraine.
Huh?
You need a sign-up sheet. Who's gonna water what day?
Yeah, that's fine. So we'll figure that out as long as I can say, hey, we got it set in stone, that's all I need to know.
That's good to me.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah. Because I guarantee you, a lot of people, if I said, hey, a lot of people that I've talked to so far, they're like, just tell me. And I'm like, as long as I can show this to them and show them, we'll have donations. I just want to make sure that we get it done and done right. Instead of putting on so much money and having flaws and people donate and we screw up, I want to make sure we do the
Well,
right thing.
that's where I was like, all those trees at the line. I'm like, I don't really want to see the railroad come by and spray all.
Yeah, but thank you for saying that, because then we can bring it in closer when
You
if
just
the
have to make
donations
sure.
are there.
You just have to make sure that they're not too close to swings.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you
yeah.
know how the kids like to jump out of swings.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
you don't want them jumping into the trees.
That would be,
That would be
they
your
still do
daughter.
it. They
Yeah.
do it, so we all know they do it.
Is there water accessible up there?
No.
No, but, okay, to explain it, buy gallon buckets of water and take them up and water them once a week, or I think that's what it is, once a week. And that water will slowly drain, but at first, when you first put it in, you gotta keep it constantly, keep it moist. But after that, we'll be able to put water, 5-gallon bucket of water, and it'll slowly drain down into the root, so. So I don't know, but like I say, you know, people just telling me, and Park and Rec has given me some wonderful ideas, so, and like I say, Jason, he'll be helping, so we want to make sure this works for the community. So, yeah.
What we did.
You can start by getting the fire department involved.
Yeah.
Taking the pump truck or one of the trucks,
Mhm.
full water and fill every next time around.
Yeah, I'll talk to Jacob and see what he says,
And then
I'm
after
pretty
that-
sure everybody's gonna come together on this, you know, I feel within my heart, this is something that people would like, sorry.
Yeah, one second.
Yeah, so that water tower, this side of the water tower is your property.
Oh, it is,
It basically runs along the swing side.
This one side.
The swing side.
oh, shoot, so forget the trees on that side.
Oh,
Well,
leave that back.
Hang on a second. You can still put trees. in this area, north of the swings.
True.
But
Yeah,
that's apparently the only choice you have.
yeah, true.
Or as far as the railroad property lines, yeah.
Huh?
I'm sorry, I
No,
interrupted.
but
I said, please stay away from these pasture homes. In 5 years, we'll be cutting them down.
Which one is that one?
River Birch.
Oh, River Birch?
They're messy. Oh, yeah.
they're very messy.
Isn't it the location being wet, like where that part of the park, isn't it usually when it rains or like?
River Birch is good for like areas more.
For low areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There's a few low areas there that,
Yeah,
but they are missing trees.
yeah,
And the faster they grow, the more brittle they are. As far as trees. No soft maples, no
right?
poplars. There's a few other things there.
No, there's ones that produce the cotton balls. Okay.
Stay away from cotton. Stay away from long.
White people all around the sill.
So what are you wanting us to approve tonight?
Well, the thing here is just, I don't know, just see if we can even put trees in. You know, if once, I guess now we're gonna have to correct where the trees are, where it shows, but have that many trees at least approved to be put in.
But this is a big, big step in the right direction.
Oh, yeah.
We've been asking for one of these for a very long time, and I'm glad we got one.
Mhm.
Like, this goes in the right
I just don't
direction.
wanna go back stepping again when we're trying so hard.
But you
If we
got,
have to rearrange, we will to what people want.
Keep working on it. Let's table this until next month. We have our next meeting on the 8th of April. The perfect day to be planting trees is on the 9th of April.
Yeah, but you don't have the trees.
Sometime in April. Usually, Arbor Day, I think, is around the 20th or 21st.
Arbor Day's the 24th.
What, 24th of April?
April.
Yeah, so we still have to step up and get the trees.
April is
Right.
the month.
April
Yeah, well, we're good.
and May.
It'd be great to see it done this year, so that they have time to.
Yeah, I would love to see it this year. And then, the other thing is about, painting of the shelter house and the bathrooms. I know that they're not in use, whatever, and we talked about the water, the pump house or whatever it is, not painting it, because that's coming down.
Yes.
And then painting the, is there any way we can get people, can we approve something like that so we can get volunteers and paint that? And have them be able to sign off a waiver?
Would we need a waiver for volunteers just to paint?
You're not.
Boy Scouts used to paint it all the time.
Yeah,
Get the
So-
school involved because they do community service, but I can't remember what month. They're always looking.
so I mean, if it's okay with that to paint it with the city, can we just, can I put it out there a certain day and the city doesn't have to pay for anything, it's just getting it painted and making it, getting volunteers.
What do you mean, Lori?
The shelter house and the swings and then the bathrooms and then the picnic tables. Yeah, so they make it look better and No Rivers Day is, you know, I'm thinking about that, trying to get it done before No Rivers Day.
How much prep are you gonna have to do on the shelter house, any of it? The picnic tables?
There's possibly standing maybe on those.
Yeah, we have to
and
stand,
the,
yeah.
Swings, but that's doable, we're not concerned about
Yeah, and so the prep, that'd be a nice idea to do the prep before the painting and then, yeah, thank you, Les.
You have to.
But, okay, I'll do the prepping and then we'll, if it's okay, we'll put it out there then paint. What do you guys feel?
Prep it first, then I would just put it out there, put feelers out there, see who shows up.
Yeah,
What colors have you
they're up at the city, they're blue, bluish.
Didn't everyone vote like a
Yeah.
while back?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
painted?
Yeah,
Vote on
I hear
the-
that.
Yeah, we voted on the color, I don't remember what.
Yeah.
What kind of paint?
Okay.
Tractor gate, like you said, sweetie. Yeah.
What I want is a motion to approve the painting, let them go through with the preparation and the painting of the shelter house, the picnic tables they're in, both swing sets,
Yes.
not the seats,
No.
and
The bathroom.
fold out houses.
Yeah.
They may come down, they may not.
Right, who knows, but right now it's
But you
gonna
have to
look
paint
good.
for that?
Huh?
You have to paint for that?
Yep, and then we'll have the paint for the picnic tables, and then Steve, you guys will have extra paint. So when there's a silliness in town, they'll be able to touch it up with no questions asked.
I will entertain a motion then to approve the painting.
I'll make a motion to approve the painting of the front
In the prepping.
and the prepping. Prepping, painting.
Do I have a second?
I will second.
All opposed, say aye. All opposed, nay.
One thing accomplished.
Okay.
And then one more thing is later on down the road, but I'm gonna wait, put it on the table next time, is the kids are asking for a fence down there for the basketball area, but I thought about it more, and just to let people know, as far as I know, Alonzo's still on board for a new basketball court area. So I'm like, why even put up a fence if we're gonna have Alonzo for the new basketball court? So we're putting that one on hold.
You want that for next month's agenda?
Not that, no. I'm gonna take it off the agenda until Alonzo, him and I talk.
And then is it consensus of the council that we come back next month with a more detailed plan for the trees, keeping in mind where the regular property lines are, and also the property lines on the west side of the street, I see actually coming to the basketball court just a little bit. So you might keep that in mind.
You want us to make a motion? For that?
No.
How far in advance do I know what's going to be called?
A motion for painting.
Got passed.
Good, amen.
We got that passed, so next month, refine your plan.
Yep.
I'm sorry, is there, you guys got something to add in?
I want to know before what would be called, so that we have, whatever, we have a date, how far.
72 hours. All right, moving on then. Does anybody else got anything to say about the park improvement?
Good job, Lorraine.
Well, they're gonna, but
All right.
Good job.
oh, okay.
Unless you got anything else.
No, that's okay.
Moving on.
You're on that.
Bye, Rhonda.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rhonda. Gilman citywide cleanup, possible 2 o'clock. We traditionally have that in May.
There wasn't very many last year. I don't know, I don't think it's worth it. That's just me. I know, like, you guys want to clean it up, I get it, but
I think we had 9 last year. It wasn't
we were
very
done
much.
in,
I mean, it doesn't matter.
It's very year to year. We've
Yeah.
seen as many as 28 or 22, sometimes 5.
Yeah.
we were done in, like, what?
What's the rest of the council think?
What do you think of that story you see last year? I should have said it.
Kimber?
So, last year, so how did last year turn out, was it?
You said you had 9.
We did
We had
9,
about 9.
and it didn't,
Well, how many dumpsters did you fill?
Not even 1. We used 3, but we only filled probably 1.
So you were filling up one of these big ones.
Yes.
If we had to put on.
If, yeah, but we separate them into,
Right.
because that's the way we do it.
I'd say on average, it's probably breaking even, right, or a little bit even.
Well, it's not a money maker for the town.
I mean, if we
The
want to
idea is
even, I'm
to
happy.
The whole idea is to clean it up.
ones you want to get to do it, they don't do it.
Well, maybe after we talk about number 14, there'll be a few people, more people that want to participate. So I'm all for having cleanup day. I think it works better if we have it on the Friday. So I seem to have more participation for whatever reason.
Friday night.
I'll be at that. That's when we used to do it for years and years and years. Friday morning.
How are you guys publicizing this? To the center?
It will be posted around town, the usual places. It will be put on the website and it will be put on the Facebook page.
Okay.
Wasn't it
So
yours
here's
on
the
the water
problem
bill?
with that.
Yes, also the one.
Wasn't
Yes,
it a water bill?
Water bill also.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I meant,
No, it just
is
put
it
on the water
announced
bill.
on the water bill?
Just put on, will be next month's water bill in April, that they have ahead of time. So. What day do you want?
Kelly, any question?
I wasn't done talking, but can I talk now? Wow,
Sorry.
thanks. Here's what I would suggest. I would do up a flyer, because it doesn't cost that much money, and I would send it out with the water bill. Because not everybody goes around town, they're not looking for that being posted. Not everybody goes on the Gilman website, not everybody goes on the Gilman page that everybody complains on that page. So, and not everybody's looking where it's hanging. So, everybody gets the water bill though, don't they? So if you make up a flyer saying what you're doing, and it's on there with your water bill, you paper clip it to your water bill and send it out, everybody's gonna have that.
It doesn't work that
Print
way.
it on the water
It
bill.
doesn't work that way. We would have to put envelope everything. It does go on the water bill. I think you're allowed 2 lines. If I remember right. So citywide cleanup on a certain date.
Is it bolded or anything, highlighted, anything? Because like when I get my water bill, I look over here to see how much my bill is, that's not it.
Maybe highlighted?
What's council think?
I think last year it was highlighted.
Was it highlighted last year, Erin?
I think they were, but I'm not sure.
Just put it on the water bill, highlight it.
I would,
Done. There it is.
Hang on, one at a time.
I would recommend a note, comment on the water bill and tell them to go to the city resources, right? Because you're gonna have to get the updated sheet from our guy on the prices, right? On what they accept, what they don't accept, but that sometimes changes every year. But then you can have time to put more details versus your 1 or 2 lines on there on the water bill. But it can't hurt if you have a text line on the water bill still. You could say coming this date, decide on the date, and then you have time to publish it digitally. That would be my recommendation.
What date were made? Does the 10th work for everybody? Tenth of May.
Maybe it worked.
Not here, but the.
No, I think, yeah, I'll be at work.
Does the 10th work for everybody? I understand people have to work, that's not a problem. Okay, make a motion, please.
I make a motion to move the citywide, Gilman citywide cleanup on May 10th.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor of the citywide cleanup on the 10th of May, say aye. All opposed, nay. Okay, we're gonna skip number 11 for right now. Number 12, discuss and possible approval of update for procedure for obtaining public information. And really, the only thing we need to do on that is update the dollar amount that Aaron would be reimbursed, the city would be reimbursed for Aaron's time. Right now, it's at $7 for a half hour minimum.
Yeah,
That should be updated to $10 an hour. Reflect what we pay.
Is this, have we passed this in the past?
Yes.
You know when it was passed, how long ago?
About 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah,
Because there's a couple of things in here that I don't think are quite accurate.
Like what?
I would suggest if we table it for a month, just let me take a look at it, and then we can do it next month. Unless there's something
That's
like
not
that.
pressing, it's just something that Aaron lets off.
Okay, yeah, we can take a look at it.
Okay, we will table number 12. Number 13, discuss and possible approval of mowing terraces. Kathy, you want to point this on?
Yes, I would like to go back and have the city mow the terraces that they did before.
Well, if we're gonna do that, then we're gonna mow everybody.
No,
So we
they
need to
didn't.
mow the east side of 146 because those people mow theirs. And then what about Chelsea and Heidi down here? Their ditches are just as steep. But then if we're gonna do that, then why don't we mow from the sidewalk all the way out to the street for everybody?
That wasn't what I asked about. I would like to see the terraces when people come back into town. We did it before it was,
And the county mowed a strip so nobody could see and it looked fine last year.
but they didn't mow the triangle thing.
No, because we didn't put snow there.
I'm
We
not
didn't
gonna
put
argue
snow there.
with
I'm
you.
not arguing, but I'm just saying,
Yes.
we didn't put snow there last year, did
I'm
we?
not talking about that triangle, I'm talking about the one when you first come into town where the culvert is along, what is it, there's an actual name for that street.
no, I know what one you're talking about, out this
No.
way.
That's out here.
Benton Drive?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
Benton Drive, because they used to mow down along there for a while, and down into where the culvert was, did they not?
You're talking along 146.
Along 146, yeah. You see, that's not getting done, and that culvert's getting plugged, and plus it looked nicer. In the same way that it was where they moved over that direction, on the terraces.
Well, there's 4 ways to come into town, so are all of them gonna be mowed? Cause I mean, if that's the reason we're doing it, cause of the peel, then there's that way, that way, that way.
And the way we did it before, and I think it was this 146 out here, right, if I remember right? You remember, Ben,
Okay.
the terrace mowing that?
The terrace mowing, as far back as I can remember, we did the west side of 146 from the gravel road to almost, well, to the house before the Laurel Blacktop.
Yeah.
We did one side of, Church Street, then it turns into, what is it, Drake Street, that's the curve or whatever. We did the north side of that for snow protection. That was in trade with Birchlands for mowing the lagoon waterways. We did the curve, aka Dead Man's Curve up by Jelly's house. I don't know what that street name is, but it goes from Hyde around. There was a portion of that was city, and we continued the ditch there. I think there was one other spot. Was it by Roberta Quickies? Did we do that?
Across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still want it.
Yeah, we did a lot of that for snow maintenance. So, the other thing you gotta consider, I don't know if it affects any city corporate limits, but after Brand said, regulation, you can't mow primary and secondary right away until after July 15 unless it's like water, nuisance rodents and whatever like that. So I don't know if that considered a primary
thing? And if so, we can't, may or may not, depending on court limits. I never looked into it, so. If there is restrictions on mowing because of the things we put into place for speed behind the state. So we might want to check that. If it proceeds into town.
Okay, what's council think?
I honestly feel it should be done.
I'm sorry, Kimberly, can I read it?
I feel it should be done again. For not just for Woodford, but over by that curve, the children have to get balls when it's just, like the, crossing the ditch, like on the other side of that road.
The city never mowed that. Crosses used to mow
Isn't
that.
that part of it?
No,
On this?
she's talking about that from yours,
Yeah.
where it goes back in there, it's,
Part of the abandoned Straight Street?
yeah. That's where,
That's
where the alleyway goes through there.
Well, that's
She
the
can't
alleyway,
use-
that's the abandoned road.
Well, but it used to be an alleyway. But,
It's grass now.
Kent used to know all that. That's what she's talking about.
Okay.
I'm talking,
Is-
are we talking, I don't know. I'm talking about next to, in between Melissa,
Where their mailbox
and
is.
Sir. Oh, I mean, not just whatever you were mowing, we were mowing on between your property and Melissa Rose.
Yeah.
That, the ditch, yeah, you know. Or is that not? I'm so confused now.
You're in the right area, but I didn't know if you were talking about where there used to be a road. Cause Kent Cross used to mow from his place all the way up and do all of that.
Yeah.
Where Morales's, mailbox and stuff is, he used to mow all of that. But he no longer lives in that big house, so it doesn't get mowed now.
I think it would look nice. The way it used to look back in the day.
But why is it not the homeowner's responsibility? I mow between my sidewalk and the street. Everybody in town mows between their sidewalk and their street. That's a terrace.
Not with the ditch or the.
For safety, right, yeah, the steep ditch that, I'm talking about the ditch that's, it's too steep for the home.
When I lived in the country out by the end Dunbar, there was a ditch out there and I mowed it.
Well, it would just, be easier just to set it back to how it was, and then it would nicer, and everybody would be fine, like it was.
But you guys are picking and choosing which terraces get.
Okay,
No,
I want to hear from
there's
council.
reasons.
I want to hear what council has to say.
I'm just saying, go back to the way we had it
Yeah,
before.
there was
Way
nothing
back,
burnt
the way
out.
Gilman did it for how many years before? As long as I remember living here. You know, look through it, it's still on.
Okay, so then, are we gonna mow where Kent used to mow too then? To make that look nice? Or are we just gonna, you know what I'm saying?
You tell me.
Well,
I
guess
didn't
don't
think it
matter.
looked
I can
bad
go over and
last
mow it
year.
myself.
Well, seeing
Well,
his, yeah,
The,
But also, the
It's
county
bad.
came by and,
it's getting close from there, like when it's quite a few times. It just-
but if we're gonna do those, then we need to know
But there's
Heidi'sville.
reasons to
Chelsea
why
Field.
we were doing it, not just because we're paying like favoritism or we like those things, so we're gonna mow theirs. You know, there was reasons behind why the city was doing it.
We can't pick and choose
Okay.
those.
But there are reasons.
I feel like you are, but that's just me.
Okay. In the past, you pick and you choose also because of the people that involved. So I will entertain a motion
No, no, wait,
Go
hold on,
back.
we eliminated everything.
to the way it was.
No, we didn't pick and choose.
Excuse me?
So,
We did not pick
can I
and
motion-
choose.
Excuse me? You interrupted? I will entertain a motion
Our motion for approving the mowing of terraces.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Opposed, is a question. Did you get that vote?
Kimber made the motion and Kathy seconded it, yes, there's no. Did you end the vote? Nobody else.
I didn't vote.
I didn't vote either.
So
I'm gonna say no. If you want my vote, I'll say no.
You do have a,
Are you
you have a
abstaining?
number.
I'm abstaining.
So, how does that work?
2-1. I believe we have a quorum,
Yeah, that's the question. And you've got one abstaining.
and we have one absent.
I don't know.
Did you have a question?
Are we as homeowners responsible for mowing from our side, even though it's the city's from our sidewalk out to the street?
Yes, yes.
At the bare minimum, state code says the adjoining neighbor has to mow the right of way, which is not actually your property.
That's right.
And then otherwise agreed upon. So, do we have it written anywhere? I mean, is it in our public works,
Yeah, it's in the ordinances. But that's correct.
My question is, how can we did it for all those years and years and years, and nobody complained until now? We want to go back and doing it again. I remember any citizens.
Being on council, isn't it?
I would just treat it as being sustained with motion passes. Does it pass 2-1? No.
Yes, sir.
I just went something in Marshalltown, I don't know if it really applies to this, but if there's one person that's not the jury, the vote is done. You can bring it back up on the next meeting, but it's no.
No, we have a quorum.
You guys are gonna.
Okay, moving on then. Discussing possible approval of nuisance properties. You should have in your packet full colored pictures in black and white. Colored in black and white.
Oh, color is black.
No, you got that one? You have a picture?
So this one right here,
Which one?
that would be my husband's shop. The tires are gone. The plates are in our shop. That truck that sits on the east side is being worked on to be removed to go back to Texas.
Okay,
And we're gonna be putting a privacy fence up.
Hold on, I
There
haven't
you
even
go.
got to your page yet.
okay, there is no discussion.
Oh.
If you have to abstain, you cannot discuss this matter also.
Okay, well, I'm just letting you know that there's nothing there for you to nitpick about.
Okay.
Okay,
First of all, let me be very clear that I had nothing to do with any of these pictures. I didn't tell people where to go. This is all done by council members, not by myself.
well, can we add some to these if I look at pictures? So I
Yeah,
have a few
not,
I want
not
to add.
tonight.
No,
Not tonight.
but I have a few I would like to add to this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we have pictures,
And a
addresses.
lot of, some of these are,
Excuse me, it's only, you gotta have pictures, addresses, and the code violation. That is very
I sent in pictures to a council member.
Hang on.
Okay.
They're very clear on that with the season.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of these were brought to the attention of council from citizens. Not all of them were done by council.
Well, that's fine, I don't care. I was just curious if I could still bring some more.
Yes, you can.
Are these supposed to be?
Mainly the worst
Hang on,
ones.
one at a time. Kathy.
These are mainly the ones that have been like this the longest. Versus some of the ones that aren't as rough as these are.
I just wanna know, are you wanting photos that we send them in, are they supposed to prior Friday before the Monday?
As close to this council meeting date as possible. As
I feel like
practical.
I never have enough time for them. Just before, anytime, works.
As close to the council meeting as practical, so if people do get cleaned up, we can, if you take it tomorrow and they clean it up between next meeting, then it gets back there, well, let's try and.
Oh, I see what you're saying, okay, well, yeah, okay, so it's close, gotcha.
Did you have something?
A little stalker.
So,
You're
no,
good. You've been-
Okay, so do we have an ordinance for commercial properties? That's what I'm asking. Like we have the ordinance for business properties. Do we have one
So I think it would,
for commercial?
it would be, junkyards, just for junk dealers. They can get an exemption to your zoning ordinance that allows them to keep junk vehicles on the property.
We have one.
We have one junkyard, yeah. Yeah, he's still there.
That's the only thing that requires what you're talking about.
And some of these go back.
Well, this one isn't a junk.
Some of these go back to 2021 and before that.
Yes, some will go back.
And there's several of them.
Okay. So,
Next question. Okay, so for a commercial property, what are the guidelines? Do we have an ordinance? Or is it the same as a residential?
Nuisance is an umbrella of all properties.
Okay. Over all the properties here in town. Okay,
yeah.
well, I
Did that answer your question?
kind of, sort of, but there's not all of them.
I don't know who all made this list.
Yeah.
This is what we got.
I know you don't.
You
But-
can bring in more
Yeah.
next month.
so
This is what we're going to discuss
how are we going
tonight. I think you had something to say. Yes?
I got pictures on the phone, I didn't have to bring it up in the book. We got a property that behind the house, probably has 100 old tires.
I know I got some
One's already state,
Is it by the?
right across the school.
Yep, I
And
also
may I
got,
see?
I could actually show you the.
Will this work with the access?
Thank you so much.
There's two pictures on the right.
Can I send a complaint on the same from like the actual complaint to like whoever to add the proof or no? I can verify I've had a complaint from the citizen about this one. I didn't know there was a picture of them.
I have a picture here. Everybody see that?
What's the address?
Okay. So
I didn't show you, did you see the photo of them? Sorry, okay, let me.
Make sure it's been cleaned up.
Okay, what we're going to do,
We should only try to see who's got them.
So you can do infraction, you can do abatement, we can do commercial. You have those three options, which course you want to take.
debating that meeting, we can decide that we want to get somebody to clean it up.
That's the way we're gonna go.
Yeah.
And I think we better do these one at a time. We have 10 of them.
So literally, we need to make the motion for each one.
We have to do that because in the past, we've done it all in one time, and there was a real brouhaha over it.
We're just gonna decide if they are a nuisance.
If they are a nuisance, and then to send a letter from the clerk's office for abatement. Sound good?
Okay.
I got 221 North High Street first.
Is it just a burn pile?
Is that on the other, on the?
It's hard to see, but it's a, there's a lot of creosote railroad ties on there. If it would be a little burn pile, if you like it out.
I guess, where, so is it in between the alley and the cornfield?
It's on her property.
I was sticking up there where I like trees and everything.
Okay. All those in favor of 221 North High Street getting a letter from the clerk to abate that nuisance, say aye.
Aye. I'll make that motion to send a letter to 221 North High Street.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Yeah, second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Okay. Second one, 212 East Church Street.
Oh, this one. Which one is it?
Now I know that.
Down here.
Oh, yes, I know which one now, okay.
Okay, we all good?
Yes,
I'll
yes.
entertain a motion to declare that one a public nuisance.
I make a motion to declare 212 East Church Street a public nuisance.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed, nay. Okay. 06 West Church Street. Junk vehicle, sorry. Junk vehicle and unlicensed vehicle.
It's 306, you said 06.
What was the address?
306.
West Church Street.
Took me out of that
I was gonna say, I'm gonna tell.
306 West Church Street.
And I was informed there's another one or two camper type vehicles on that alley. I don't go up there.
All right, the motion.
I make a motion we send them, or we declare 306 West Church Street a public nuisance.
Do I have a second? Anybody want a second? Okay, 1 second. Motion failed on 306 West Church. 113 North Maple Street. There's two pictures there.
Oh, I know where that's at. Over here.
Okay.
The back there.
I make a motion to declare that one a nuisance.
Wait, so,
Okay.
wait, so which one are we
113.
Okay.
No, hang on a second, hang on, I'm not going with motions yet.
I second that last, I'll just second the last one. I'll second the last.
You gotta go back.
Yeah.
Sorry, you said none.
Didn't that-
Okay, well then I guess when I'm.
I just said they would.
Right now, we're talking 113 north.
Okay, sounds good.
Made a motion to send them a letter for nuisance.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. $215 East Church Street.
These are both the same place.
Is that,
I'm thinking, is this both the
Yes.
same place?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
the top two are the same.
yeah,
The bottom two.
The
are
bottom two
not
are the
bottom
same,
two.
yeah.
that was my
Is it,
question.
is it two different vehicles or just one vehicle?
There's,
Three or four.
the first picture's on the east side, and the other picture's on the west side.
Turn around when I get to the county.
I will entertain a motion for 215 East Church Street to declare a nuisance property.
I will make a motion to make 215 East Church Street a nuisance.
Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye. All opposed, nay? Okay, 110 North Elm Street.
Wait, no, there's one is that, wait.
Hold on.
Where's that on the top?
Oh, that's the bottom.
The bottom one, 110 North Elm Street.
What about,
There's three pictures there. No, I'm sorry.
I'm
Take it
doing
back.
it
There's
too.
two.
I'll make a motion to send them a letter for
wait,
nuisance.
I don't even know where we are. Can we number the papers next time? Okay. Dang.
Were you going North Elm Street?
What? It's 113 North Elm?
110 North
Or
Elm
110
Street.
North Elm.
Okay, this
One
one.
on the wrong there.
Bottom two. Holy cow.
That's mine.
Already made a motion.
I made a motion to send them a letter for
Need
nuisance.
a second.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That's fine.
All opposed, nay.
Now, oh.
Okay, now, on the same piece of paper,
Yeah,
139 South Main Street.
okay. We're talking the one above it.
Yep.
Okay.
Any discussion on that?
The concerns that I was presented were the metal being exposed. If you know, kids aren't supposed to trespass, they can get hurt on it, and it's out in the county.
I believe that property years ago, maybe six, no, longer than that, maybe 10 years ago, got a letter. Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, that's pretty much. You know, if it was raining or whatever, put somewhere where it's covered up, safely covered up. Well, what is it? Is it just?
You know exactly where that is.
No, I know exactly what we're talking about, but is it just like, I don't know, I guess it would also, okay, fine then, I motion to send.
It's basically scrap.
Okay, and so, yes, and I
Aluminum.
wanna send a letter, because it's not
Sheet metal.
pretty.
I'll entertain a motion.
I will motion to, what, send them a letter?
What?
So,
We're declaring these nuisance properties and they're going to get a letter from the city.
okay.
Oh, here. Can I say something else? Trying to say something. Once.
Go ahead.
If, okay, we have some that have passed with these vehicles, and then we didn't pass one that had vehicles. Does that make any
I
sense?
just had changed my mind on that one,
I
but
know.
it's too late, so.
I know, but it's
So
just-
it,
Okay. We have a motion on
Doesn't
the
matter.
floor from Kimber for 139 South Main Street.
Yes.
Do I have a second?
No second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Nay.
2 and 2, is that what you got? Okay. We will table that one. One 13 North Elm Street.
I don't think this is a bad property. He has cleaned it up. Just because you have vehicles doesn't mean you, I mean, we have several more in town that are not.
These are the ones that I've had people ask me about, and they're ones that have been brought forward from clear back to 2018, 19, 20.
Could I ask a question? How many vehicles can you have in your driveway? That make, until it becomes a nuisance?
There is
Is there a limit?
no limit in our ordinance book as far as the number of licensed operating vehicles.
It can be a nuisance
Hang on.
vehicle and it can be a nuisance property. I'm sorry.
Did you have something to say?
Junk vehicle means any vehicle illegally placed in storage of the county treasurer or unlicensed and having any of the following characteristics: broken glass, broken roof or missing parts, habitat for nuisance animals or insects, flammable fuel, inoperable, defective or obsolete condition. Mere licensing of the vehicle should not constitute offense. Vehicle means every device in, upon, or by which a person or property is or may be transported or drawn upon the highway or street, except devices moved by human power or used exclusively upon stationary rails or tracks and include without limitation motor vehicle, automobile, truck, motorcycle, tractor, buggy, wagon, farm machine, or any combination thereof. It is unlawful for any person to store, accumulate, or allow to remain on any private property within the corporate limits of the city, any junk or junk vehicle.
Okay, this one right here, he just had fixed. I know for a
I
fact.
don't know that. I just saying,
It's
a lot of
just so-
these were given to me from, or not, the photos weren't, but the addresses and stuff were given to me, have been complained about before. Some of the more recent ones that are still on my list on the other one. Just pick the one that basically.
I get it, but we get too many on this list and the lawyer ain't gonna be able to keep up.
Well, back in 20.
Just saying, no.
Okay,
offense, Tom.
excuse me, back in 2016, we had 23 on a list. By the end of the summer, or midway through the summer anyway, we had down to about 4 or 5. So don't tell me that there's too many on the list, okay? If we want to clean up this town, then we're gonna have to get serious about cleaning up the town. This qualifies as a junk vehicle. It's been up on a stand for 4 or 5 months, at least. I'm sorry,
At least a year and a half.
I stand corrected. Year and a half, it's been up on a stand. Now, if this doesn't qualify as a junk vehicle,
No, that's true.
now, please don't interrupt. If that does not qualify as a junk vehicle, then we have to go back and rewrite our ordinance, and we have to apologize to a lot of people from in the past for the exact same thing. Now, Lori, did you have something to say?
He's had surgery twice. Why don't people just go knock on people's doors and ask?
That's, okay, that's why we're sending out a courtesy letter from the city. Put them on notice.
That mostly answers my question. I was asking if this was that first stage letter of the courtesy letter.
First stage.
And is it still, what's the timing on that? Is that 30, 60, or 90 days?
Usually 30 days, or who it was in the past, I talked to Jessica, 30-day notice. to abate the nuisance, and then if they don't do it by then, like, okay, we're extended another 30 days, and then after that second 30 days, then it's,
Kind of up to council after 30 days, we'll go from there.
you know,
Okay, 113 North Elm, I will entertain the motion.
I will motion to send them a copy.
Do I have a second?
Don't second.
All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, nay. Okay, I'm gonna call it one more time, and I want, you can all speak up. please.
Aye.
I heard you.
Aye.
We have first and second. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, nay.
Nay.
Three of us. Okay. Three of us.
Okay. Next is 115 East Church Street.
Means I can't vote, can I speak?
Technically, if there's a, what's the word I'm looking for? Conflict of interest, you cannot vote, and you should not discuss the
Yeah.
property that's being discussed, whatever's being discussed.
Okay.
You did give your input earlier, so we'll go with that. I noticed that part of this is not accurate, all the tires have been cleaned up, put away or whatever. Okay. Yes, Shelley.
The pallets have been moved. They're no longer there.
Okay.
The tires are gone.
Yeah.
And they have been cleaned up a little bit.
I have no idea what that picture is.
Yeah, I don't know what that picture is.
What picture?
This black hole here.
Oh, that's the burn pile.
There's nothing in that burn pile.
Oh, you
Sorry.
see, right? Maybe
Not
I-
listening.
And
Okay, there's, other things there. There's the commercial truck up on Jack's, on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
it's not on
And that's-
sidewalk.
It's
Yes,
on
it
the
is.
sidewalk.
No, it's
That
not.
that
It is
the
on the
city-
sidewalk.
It's a city sidewalk.
It is the sidewalk,
But there's also a road there.
but it's on, it's
That
not
is
supposed to
still
be
within
at Graceland.
the parameters. That whole thing from the building out is not the same.
It is. It's,
Down here. You look down that sidewalk. Look straight down that sidewalk. That truck is on that. What would you say?
Just the very edge, maybe.
And it's on a jack.
Yeah.
In public.
Well, it'll be moved within a few weeks because it's being fixed and
Excuse
being
me?
sent back to Texas. And he can't work on anything if somebody drives by and stops him, so
It's just a case of people that.
You call that
contacted me on-
stalker into the sheriff's department. And
I will.
have them arrested.
Okay.
Now, is there any more discussion on that property?
No.
Okay. I will entertain a motion.
I will motion to send them a courtesy letter to that property.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor very loudly say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Thank you. 2-1. One Southteen. 117 South Elm Street. There's 3 photos there, I believe. A lot of garbage piled up.
And, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Does everybody know where that's at?
Yep.
Okay.
The school, the nice brick house, and the next one. Oh, I remember the business plan, okay.
That particular property has gotten letters numerous times in the past. So, any more discussion on that?
No.
Okay, I will entertain a motion.
I will make a motion.
One at a time, please.
Go ahead, Gabby.
I make a motion to send courtesy nuisance letter to 117 South Jones Street.
Do I have a second?
I will second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye,
Aye.
sorry, aye.
Kathy, I did not hear you.
Oh, aye.
All those opposed, nay. We'll get those letters sent out from the clerk's office. Okay, discuss the possible approval of fiscal year 24-25 budget talks.
Hold on. Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Why is this house on the corner not on the list?
We're not dealing with abandoned properties. Right. That's been already taken
Oh.
care of, moved on to the lawyer.
That was last month.
Oh, okay, I wasn't here last time.
Yeah, that was last month.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Fiscal year 24-25 budget talks, Aaron.
I'd just like to ask if there's anything that any of the council members want to add to changes for the budget. I think at least a couple of meetings, I talked about vehicle operations and repairs. Looking at adding money to the EMS budget. I'm not sure exactly how much that is or would be. Training for myself and for council members. I'm not planning on doing a lot to really any other category. We're still not certain exactly how basically the property tax bill is going to affect the budget. We'll talk more about that on March 25th at the public hearing. Not public hearing, sorry. The property tax proposal.
What do we call that now?
Property tax proposal meeting. It's the one that takes place the next August. That is scheduled for March 25th, 2 weeks from tonight at 6.
Kimber, do you have a question?
No, well, I would like to add, oh, yeah, I would like to add park.
What do you want to do with the park budget?
Get more on the budget. How
much more?
If you want exact numbers.
Yes, I want exact numbers.
I thought this was all gonna be, this, okay. Then
We're discussing it right now.
well, then I'm not gonna be able to get that. To the right this second. I wish we would do a workshop like other times too, because like, kind of hard to.
Okay, you
Just
were
that reminder.
reminded back in January.
No, I understand that. Okay.
Anybody else have anything? For the budget?
I have not contacted DC Partners to put their utility bill and all that for this building, but that's probably something else personally, so I think we definitely increase the insurance and upkeep and utility maintenance and all that on that building, but I have no idea what they're.
The insurance we heard back from Tom
Okay.
Mullen on that, and he's estimating approximately another 4,500 for that per year. We don't know for sure exactly. He didn't go back and speak to it.
As of today, I found out that the total premium is just going to be $800 more than it was last year. This is for everything. As far as I know, that has been factored in. I know that they like we've talked, they did their assessment and let us know exactly how much that would be. So his secretary, Tom's secretary, is supposed to get back with me and get us the paperwork, which has the total bill and everything outlined in that. So it's actually going to end up being cheaper than what I had estimated, basically.
Still,
So-
an increase, cheaper.
Yeah.
And also, Tom Mueller, again, projected the replacement cost for that building to be $806,000. I'm not sure what he based that on. So I would like to go over those figures with him. See if that I made $201.49 a square foot.
And you valued it at what?
Replacement cost.
Replacement cost. If that building got.
Yes, how much?
$806,000.
Okay, 806,000. You just said 806, and I'm kind of freaking out here.
The insurance coverage.
All right.
I know I'm deaf, but not that deaf.
Kimber, do you have anything else?
A lot of questions, but I'm just.
I myself would like to see the park budget increase by a couple thousand if we could.
Thank you.
We have the money?
Well, we need to put,
Just to put it in round figures. $2,000.
I guess, which I understand that, but also looking at this, we're right now, and we have, through this month, and then April, May, and June, in this fiscal year, we're not using what we have in parks and cemetery really at all.
I know, and it's short.
But we will.
We need to start, yeah, it's one.
We have a building to knock down.
And where's this money gonna come out of?
Hang on a second. We have a building to knock down, which is going to be done by the city. But we will have dumpster fees for that. And then, the improvements we want to make, hopefully we can put some money into that. Next year. Hopefully. Anybody else have any input on the budget?
I need to go talk to the, get rid of the name, Chris.
Chris.
So, the utilities, average utilities, have to go over there, so we know how we don't have, what they're gonna get into. I have no idea, how much to raise the budget, if I don't know.
We're just going to factor in so quite a bit more. You also got to keep in mind that's a newer building, much better insulated than this one.
Yeah. Are you going by certain percentage that you're gonna raise, things like that?
I would say you probably have to raise at least 10%.
Okay. That's what I should have asked.
Citizens have anything about the budget, they have. Alright. We do have the March 25th meeting, which will be 2 weeks from tonight. Again, that is a special meeting. The budget will be the last thing on the agenda.
Actually, that is the property tax proposal. So that is in the Times as of today. It's on the city website. That is what is taking place on the next meeting. So we can talk about that more, but that has to be a standalone meeting by itself. All by itself. So we will actually approve the actual budget on the pay for labor.
And do we need a standalone meeting just before that? Alright, any more discussion on the budget talks? We don't really have anything that we need to approve tonight. Okay, moving on. Discuss some possible approval of the loan to purchase building slot for Department of Communications. The loan has been approved, it's signed for. Remind you, it was $70,000. And we are borrowing 30,000 and putting down some building. The only other thing that, we need to talk about tonight is we do need an architect involved in the process. So if we're going to move forward with this, and we're moving forward with it, we need to get an architect involved. What we need to do is get a motion to approve finding an architect and then hiring an architect. We will have to put it out for 3 bids.
Has the library said anything about, this is an important library, like the need for an architect?
Architect, we need one.
Yes, have they said anything as far as like, or anything more than just me?
It's a state law, you guys.
No, I know, but being the library, they talk on the library board and stuff.
What do? They come in and they stage the library?
Okay, what architect will do is come in.
We have to get 3 bids.
You can do this, and you can do that, you can knock out this wall, you can knock out that wall, am I correct?
Yeah, I'm assuming that's probably
That's kind of.
there's a threshold typically, once you go over that threshold, you've got to get a professional, signed professional involved.
Make sure you're not making out any important walls.
It's my understanding, because it's going to be a government building, we have to have an architect with his first.
That would make sense, I'd have to double check, I'm not up on vertical infrastructure necessarily.
I think Luke's right, it's a threshold. It's whatever your projected cost might be, that's your threshold for design.
Yeah, and they're, just like ours is $50,000 for horizontal infrastructure, there is a vertical infrastructure threshold.
So maybe we need to research that more.
I can give an answer on that. Not right now. Jeez, you guys are.
You got 30 seconds.
Quiet. Another.
Tom, if you need some resources to reach out to on that,
Okay, yeah, I'll email you.
Because we're getting conflicting information as to whether we actually need one or not. If we don't actually need one, then we don't need to pay for one, because just to get them through the door. is too expensive.
Oh, sorry, I might have misunderstood you. I thought you were talking about having to get 3. Yeah, to get for the wood, yes, you're probably gonna have to use a design professional to do that.
Whether or not.
Yeah, but doing 3 bids, you may not have to do the public bidding process. Any other question?
No.
Because of the dollar amount?
Looking at Iowa League of Cities, thing that they did when we go to those meetings, they have a section on this, the horizontal, and I thought bring, I'm just saying, look that over, and hope it states something. I don't have mine on me, so. It will come.
Okay,
So I guess what we're gonna have to do is get approval to reach out to an architect, and get him down, him or her, down here, and go through that building with us. So, I will make
I will make a motion to get an architect down here to go through the partner building.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And then we get a quote on that, what it will take to get them down here, we'll run it by 3 of you council members to sign off. We're still looking at a closing date of April 1st on the building. As far as I know, Mr. Barnes is still good with that, we're good with that, everything looks like it's ready to go. Keep in mind that April 1st is April 26th.
I was just gonna say that.
All right. We'll make approval of financial report.
I will make a motion to approve the financial report.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay?
Who said so first? You never know on me. Don't you smile?
Approval of March 2024 bills, and we got a chance to.
I'll make a motion to approve the March 2024 bill.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Reports, attorney, anything else to add?
Yes, we must have an architect draw up, we do not have to use the public bidding process.
Thank you. So take that thing away from
How
you.
much is that gonna cost
Right,
us?
yeah.
See if Steve can be just as quick.
Well, it's,
Now, for those three properties you sent me, you want those to go to abandonment, right? So we're gonna come to the city and the city's gonna own them, right? Yes, or no?
yeah, that's not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to get the property owner to.
Do something.
Okay, so,
Maybe.
Yeah.
here's your three properties.
No,
No,
we don't have money.
No, it's okay.
We just want to.
Abandonment means they're no longer paying the taxes, they're not taking care of it, they're gone for all, they don't have water and gas. And the property can come to the city can clean it up and resell it. So it's abandoned. So I had heard abandoned, maybe you said vacant necessarily. But then if we're gonna go down the nuisance route, I have two options. One, I can get an order from the court stating the city can go in and abate it and charge the cost of the property owner, or I can go the nuisance infraction route, where every day is a violation and a fine, and we don't get a judgment, and that goes on my tax bill. So I have those two options with nuisance abatement.
That's what I was thinking, option number 2.
We're gonna get fined every day.
This is the abandoned property.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, yeah, I know.
I don't copy everything.
I heard him say the truth.
So all three are gonna do the nuisance infraction of fines. Right?
And that's typically 30 days
For me to get it?
for them to respond.
So, yeah.
And they have a right to a hearing in front of the council. Anything else? Wait.
Okay, last 30 days have been busy with the, MPTs and conference in town. Cleaning sewers and, televising. We've been taking up a lot of our time, digging manholes and things. We have a new part-time guy named Leo Lang, he's gonna come tonight, but didn't work out for him. A lot of you have met him already. He's been out there. The only other thing I have is we put a new battery in the city truck this morning. We had to jump it. And it had some problems, so we went ahead and got us a new battery. It was the original battery at the time. And the sewer guys are almost done. They're out at Bergson's. They've got like 6, maybe 7 manholes to go, and then we'll be back.
Have you found all the things?
Secondary ones, no.
No, the primary one.
No,
We
yeah.
found the secondary.
Yeah, we found the secondary.
Found the secondary.
We found 3 for the primaries, and we're going back after the small.
In more snakes.
No, Rachel found a nice collection of snakes, but no, we haven't seen any of them.
You can keep them.
Okay.
I think she put them on Wes's property, but anyway.
Oh, stay there. That's nice. So I'm good with it.
just came out for utility bills last week. We made the rate change. We had an ordinance change for the water rate and the sewer rate. It went from $20.40 to $21.42, and that was based upon the increase in the rate from IRUA that we got. So basically, we're passing that on to the citizens. So while I was making that rate change, and what we had on the ordinance change went from 100 gallons to 2,000 gallons of usage. So basically, the bill would start at 100 gallons of consumption. Okay. So when I made that change, and then based upon the wording of the ordinance basically states like any consumption basically up to 2,000. So what that did is it made it to where in the system, everybody that had a water meter on that account was billed even if they had zero consumption. There was 20 of those that went out with zero consumption. So I've been telling citizens don't pay that. I think I talked to Mr. Jones the other day. I was almost late for a meeting when I talked with him, but I've been telling people don't pay that. We're trying to figure out what we need to do, whether we need to change the wording already on that ordinance to go back to 100 gallons to 2,000 gallons of consumption would put out a bill, or if we're going to leave it at 0 to 2,000, which would make everybody that doesn't have any consumption have a minimum payment, and that's going to be $44 and some odd cents, I think. So, saying all that to say, I'm just trying to, Les and I need to talk a little bit more how we really want to do that. But like I said, I've been telling people if you're getting a bill, and you don't have any consumption, you're probably one of those 20, and just don't pay that bill. We're trying to figure that out. So, the other thing is golf cart licenses are coming up. If you have a golf cart in town, it needs to be registered. All right. So come to me and get a golf cart license. So I'm getting ready to order the new ones that'll start at the first part of April. So that's really all I had. And March 25th, like I said, we have the property tax proposal meeting, and that's taking place of the max tax levy that we've had for several years. So, and that is in the paper as of today and on the city website. So, yes.
How much are the golf cart licenses?
$5.
And the insurance?
Yes.
Aaron has a whole list of qualifications, guidelines, no riding on the back seat of children.
There's several
Yeah, on the front
rules.
seat. Yeah, a licensed driver only. Golf cart has to be insured. Well, no. You have to have
insurance.
You have to have home for vehicle insurance.
Yeah. Oh, we have it, we have insurance.
Insurance, I can't remember what the other rules are, but if somebody comes and gets a permit, you have it. Yes. All right, anything else? Okay, Mayor, Aaron already mentioned the 25th of March special meeting, 6 o'clock. I'll remind everybody too that this is the time that people start building things and building with driveways and so on and so forth. You need a building permit, and that varies as to the cost of it, but Aaron has that information if you need a form. Come up there and get one, and also land use permits if you're doing anything with driveways, sidewalks, or sidewalks and driveways.
So good, right? I'm gonna have to start carrying that.
And also, I've been switching council seats because I'm experimenting because we have a hearing challenged individual. Well, besides myself.
Besides me.
So that we can try and get it to where it's beneficial for them. So, that's why
I just thought you
that's why I
liked
have
me.
Yeah, all right.
Oh,
Okay, anything from citizens? Ben?
She can go first. Ladies first.
Ladies first.
I talked to Aaron the other day, and I don't know if he's had time to research this or not, but I have a couple questions about my alley. Not just my alley, I guess, but I don't know if you call it an alley. I guess it's called an alley. Refurnished alley. So, is there a certain width of alleys? Because ours is pretty narrow. When I'm driving my husband's truck down there, it's pretty narrow. It's got a big truck though, so.
It's all grass, right?
No, it's gravel. It's gravel past my house, it's past our garage.
From their driveway to the manhole, we graveled the last year.
Oh, you did grass?
Yes, it's not always the same, it's on the plan. Each alley can be different in width.
They're all pretty narrow,
Yeah.
But
ours is.
I can't lighten it. I went down, looked it over, and as soon as I get these guys out of town, I can come down and lighten it for you.
Okay, when you do lighten it, you're not lighting it on that side, because yours are not gonna like it. And
Well,
Lois probably won't be happy either, so you're more than welcome to take it more out of my yard than theirs.
Yeah, 'cause it was just from your place to the manhole, it's narrow, right? The rest of it's not so bad.
I don't know. Eli, you guess.
Okay, we'll check it out.
Yeah, he'll be on the
Right.
so you guess.
hang on a second, before you do any widening, let's figure out how wide these alleys are supposed to be. I think it varies. I don't think we have an ordinance as to exactly how wide they're supposed to be. We don't want to impose on anybody's property with gravel if we don't have to.
It's the same as the street, it's dedicated to public use, so you're gonna be talking, you're just gonna have to find a plat, and the plat's gonna show the width. It's gonna be from the center.
So we center out, and that one is fairly narrow. I don't think there's any alleys in town that are so wide that you can actually pass. Okay.
Then my second question is, where does the alley come out at?
It doesn't.
Oh, it does.
It intersects at Washington Street.
It used to come out on the county road.
Look at the house over there.
I'm pretty sure.
Tell him that. Dixon built, that's what I called it.
What's the issue?
Then they came out
So-
on your property, didn't they?
Yeah, I guess that would be my
Washington
question. What is the issue?
Behind your.
It just kind of ends there out in the grass area somewhere.
It is a little bit.
Right.
Well, because, so like, when my husband's pulling a trailer, it's real difficult to try to maneuver a trailer and turn around in the narrow alley. So when it's not a complete alley drive through,
Right.
then that's what he wants to know. Does it have you can't come out to a spot or not?
I'm pretty sure that, I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure that there's a house in the way right now that was built long after that north part of the alley was abandoned. Now, whether it's been officially abandoned by this town, I'm not sure, because we ran into that over by, off of East Church Street. There's an alley there,
The
so.
auditor one. I ran into it at St. Anthony, we thought we were gonna have to abandon a whole bunch of stuff. And I wrote her and she was like, this was abandoned in 1973. They can look up exactly when that abandonment occurred.
So if that has been abandoned, then that belongs to the homeowner that abuts. That's my guess that it's been abandoned. Yeah, we can check into that.
So if it doesn't come, if there is no way to go completely through, then is it considered an alley?
The,
Abandoned alley, it would belong to the abutting homeowner's property.
if not abandoned, and East Washington Street is not abandoned, those do intersect by John's.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to check to see if they're abandoned, and there hasn't been a surface on it since about 92, 93 or 94, right? Somewhere around there.
Half of Washington Street was abandoned and given to my property.
So that eastern part of Washington was,
The southern part of Washington has been abandoned and given to my property, but the north half of that Washington is still an alley.
okay.
And I'm pretty sure that on my 302 property, going north, almost to Dixon's property line is still an alley.
Yeah, that does have a stub there. It's not abandoned.
Those property owners,
Mhm.
whomever you're talking about, who owns the alley you're talking about, their abstract would also show that. It would show the abandonment.
I think that's where I read it.
Yes, if that's, if his property is part of that,
Are-
the abstract would show it.
So if not abandoned, are you asking them to start maintaining that? Is that what you're
They
asking?
maintain it in the winter, they push the snow off of it.
We push the snow to the end of the gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like legally, it goes clear back to the alley
To
she's
the
talking
alley.
about, that goes north south. And we've talked it over, we just assumed you didn't, so I don't wanna push the gravel all the way back to the alley, cause I mow it all year long. And, the worst part, he didn't know, but he pushed it, he didn't even get to my garage the first time. And then when I told him, he came and took care of it, he pushed it back. Now, when you get a lot of snow and it starts piling up, you might have to come down with your end loader and move it back farther, but like you said, you weren't aware the first time, you hadn't heard of it.
So I guess, my question, I guess, is, if it's not a true alley, is it public access for people to be driving through then? Or is it just kind of considered Mike's property and our property then?
If I understand it right,
Or can anybody just drive back?
if I understand it right, if it's abandoned, it belongs to the abutting property owner.
So long as the city transferred it to them, you have to abandon and then transfer.
Not understanding. From that street to her is not abandoned, but from there on is abandoned.
So you're talking about from the end of your alley on?
Right.
If that is abandoned, that's their personal property.
That's what you have to check against the county.
Yeah,
If that's the
if
case,
it's
then people
abandoned,
should not be using that as an out.
it's their property right to defend.
What gets me is, I got a neighbor that's got a camper, I mean, she's a little farther down, and they come through, they cut about right across my backyard, they don't even bother going down to where the alley actually is, they just get me into my garage.
Even when it was a used rose, they cut through your yard line.
Does that answer your question? We're gonna have to do some research.
Somewhat.
Okay, is there anybody else? That,
The golf cart thing reminded me, did anybody ever bring to the town the UTV ordinances for within the city, that was created from the House resolution for the state? So did we add to the golf cart? I know you can't charge a permit for UTV ordinance, but did we ever define a UTV, utilitarian vehicle?
ATVs or side by side?
Side by side, UTVs, yeah. I might write one up and bring for you, because I see them around and I'd hate to not have something in place. And then the other thing, I was just kind of curious, with all the activity at the co-op, so how can we check, I mean, maybe I just say it as I behoove the city to check into the taxes and stuff, because I'm curious if they were getting quite a hefty tax break for farm or something, and if that's no longer gonna be, I mean, it might be something to look into, and if we can push up that process to get them taxed appropriately, because in the past, I know they are physically a large chunk of the town, and they paid some of the least amount of taxes in this town. So it might behoove us to keep up a watchful eye on that and what their requirements to pay are. I don't know if it gets rezoned, if they get out of that status or whatever. But
Are you
could
saying you can't have ATVs? No.
a snow, you can have snowmobiles with so much inch of snow, four-wheelers and ORMs, which are off-road motorcycles. I don't think we have an ordinance for. I think we only have golf cart, last I knew.
Yeah. Can you write something up on the side by side? Because we're gonna throw it.
The state put out a big House resolution, so that's very defined. And the city can basically say, yes, we do want them on this street, or no on this street, or all streets. The ones they can't regulate are like 146, state and county highways. But like technically right now, if you went off of those roads and the city doesn't have an ordinance, they could have the cop ticket you, which is not wanted. I'm sure everybody wants a UTV thing. We just have to define one. So if somebody challenges it, they would have an answer.
Okay, we can put on a future agenda. Anything else, Ben?
No, just curious.
I just have one quick question for Aaron. On that $44 bill with the zero usage, do I need to come out and have to initial it or something, or if I just don't pay it, you're not gonna next month charge me $144 if I didn't pay it, are you?
No, I mean, you can if you want to come, I can initial.
I just didn't know if there was
If
something.
not, I mean, I have a list of those,
Okay.
You won't have.
so,
Aaron, we did get that, finally got that, water bill, you know, that I had to come and ask about with the amount.
Okay.
About 3 days before we got the other one, and it looked like it had been jammed in something, someplace. But we did receive that. Do you want the tick or the tag that we're supposed to, Carol?
you can, or if I get it, and I mean, at least if I know who it is, then I can write up another one, basically with the account number and how much has been paid.
Well, yeah, I can do that. We paid it, you know, you gave us the amount of that bill, water bill. But I didn't, you needed that.
Okay.
Part there.
However you want to do it.
Anything else? Anybody else got anything? Council, have anything? Laura, you got anything? You want to say something? I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?